God bless each and every one of you, and welcome to Texas Honda Channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be installing the intercooler piping, which I found on eBay for $80, which is awesome. I will link it in the description. The only downside is you've got to kind of cut, but I'm going to show you guys how to do that in this video to make this 2.5-inch piping fit on the RSX. This is the cheapest route to do this, so I'm trying to be on a budget here and also pass savings on to you guys by showing you a cheap but effective way to do it. Now, I went with 2.5-inch pipe. They have 2-inch, 2.5, and 3-inch. The 3-inch for me, I didn't want to do. I'm not going to be doing tons of horsepower, maybe like 400 or 500, and the 2.5 is good up to like 700. My buddy Michael actually proved that with his K24. So this piping is perfectly fine. 2.5 will work for this setup. It did come with two 45s, two 90s, two straights, and two U-bends. And of course, came with the T-bolt clamps and then some couplers. Now you will have to get a few more couplers depending on your throttle size. On my particular throttle, I have a 3-inch throttle, so I do need to get a 3-inch to 2.5 90 degree or a 45 degree, depending on what pipe I run there, coupler. And I will also link that in the description as well as everything else that's needed. So I'm going to go ahead and get the front bumper off, and we're going to lay the pipe out and see exactly what we need. I really hope you enjoy this video. All right, so I got all the pipe over here with the clamps and couplers, and as you can see, we've got some pipes already kind of set up here to get a general idea of what we're looking at. This U-bend and that one right where the blue tape is going to need cut and extended a few inches. Not a big deal. I'm going to try to use some Aluma weld from Harbor Freight and braze rod weld it. If that doesn't work, I'll be taking it to RST and having him weld all these pipes up, but we will be marking it to make sure that whenever I take it there that all the lines will line up and he can just weld it without the car there. This pipe right here comes right out of the throttle, so it'll go straight and then down, and that 90s, and then another 90, and then it'll loop around, and this is going to be the cold side. So I'm actually running the cold side how radiators are set up. The hot fluid goes up top because heat rises, and the low side is the cool side. So I'm going to set the intercooler up the same way. It only makes sense. Heat rises. We want it to be as cool as possible coming out, so it'll go down, loop around, and directly into the throttle. That pipe right there is the 45, and where that blue tape is at the bottom of that tape line, I just need to chop that off, clean it up, and we're going to make sure the inside of these pipes are cleaned after we do our cuts, because we don't want any metal shavings getting into the engine. So I'll probably just pressure wash them out or something like that. But we'll chop that pipe, and then that one will run right out of the turbo, go straight down, then 90s, and then of course loops in. And then right here, I will have a 90 that goes up and a 90s in. A lot of 90s on this, but that is just how it goes with this particular setup. So there's already a 90 on here, which I need to get clamps for. It's an aluminum pipe, and then we'll have a 90 coming out. So I have to order some more couplers, 3-inch to 2.5, because these are 3-inch inlets. That's a 3-inch inlet. So we've got three 3-inch inlets. That's a 2.5 outlet. And for volumetric efficiency, the air will flow best with the 2.5 piping, but there's nothing wrong with using 3-inch if you want to. It just, with the 2.5 piping, will actually build boost just a little bit quicker because of the volumetric efficiency. I hope that makes sense. So with these the way they are, it's going to be good, and we have all this extra pipe. If we need to chop and extend, we can just take some sections out of here and extend the U-bends, get those welded up. But I have to get more of that stuff. We will also be getting the blow-off valve mounted on this pipe right here. It'll probably be sitting somewhere in this area, the blow-off valve will. So we'll have to do that cut. And I also have this piece. And this piece right here will weld onto the aluminum pipe as well. So this right here will probably go somewhere like that. And that's for the air intake temperature sensor. So that way we can use the factory air intake temp sensor that goes right about here, and it will plug in, and it's boost capable, so it will not leak or anything like that, and it's aluminum bung, so we can just weld that in. So that's the stuff we got to do. I'm going to go ahead and get to chopping those pipes and cleaning them up, and then we'll go from there. I really hope you enjoy this video. All right, so I got the two U's. We got the U here and the U here. I flipped one of them around, and I'm going to try to braze weld this up with the Luma weld from Harbor Freight. We'll check and see if that's possible. If not, I can just use these clamps for now, and then take this over to RST and have him weld them up, because I don't want to have more potential boost leaks. These will be potential boost leaks if I use just clamps. I'd rather it just be welded. I'm waiting on a coupler, a 90 degree. They'll come down here and connect there. And then this is just shoved in there. I have to wait on a fitting there too, or a coupler there. But then they both go around. The hot pipe is on top because heat rises. We want it to cool down. So the lower pipe is the cooler pipe, which runs from right down there and up. And of course I have to wait on another coupler here. I ordered all the stuff. It's just going to be a few days. So that coupler, and then we've got this here, goes down, runs right here, and there it is. It's pretty simple, and it was a cheaper method to do the $80 intercooler pipe kit. And of course I had to buy couplers extra, but if you already have like a 2.5 intercooler flange, then it would work pretty well for you. But on this particular one, I did have to order couplers. So we're going to go ahead and mark where air intake temperature sensor needs to be. Probably somewhere right around here. Just get it out of the way. Maybe move it right there. And then I've got to mark where the blow-off valve has got to go and get those welded up. But yeah, that's pretty much it so far. All right, so here is the brazing rod weld. Absolutely terrible. The pieces of pipe have to be 100% perfectly flush together. If I could get it that way, then it would be pretty much no problem, but I'm trying to fill in gaps, and that's the problem. But it is pretty strong, but I'm not going to run it. I'm going to just grind it down, probably just put the clamps on it and have a professional do it. But I wanted to at least give it another shot and do the best I could, but yeah, I still need more practice. Okay, now we're back at RST, and I've got to get this welded up for the blow-off valve, and then the intake temp sensor adapter. So I'm going to have Omar weld that up, and then we'll be ready to paint this and be done. Alright, so there was music playing in there, so I couldn't really talk. I'd get a copyright strike. But he said that the welds on this piece right here aren't as good, but they're strong. They're just not as good as they could be because there's a coating on the blow-off valve piece right here. He said vibrant is usually the best one to get because it doesn't have that coating on it. It makes it easier to weld, but it'll be real nice and strong. And now we've got the intake temp spot and the blow-off valve spot. And he did say that he will weld up all those other intercooler pipes whenever I take them off and bring them to him. But now we can go back, clean the inside of this pipe up a little bit, and yeah, good to go. So highly recommend RST. If you're in Killeen area, definitely hit him up. He's really good at welding aluminum, and he does other things as well. So definitely consider hitting Omar up. All right, there it is. It's all together. Went ahead and painted the intercooler pipes white, did a pearl gold over the top of the white, and then went ahead and used the Spray Max 2K Clear. Did the same thing to the intercooler just to make it look a little bit better. I know people will complain, oh, painting your intercooler is going to make it not work good. I've never had that in my experience of all the intercoolers I've painted, but I went ahead and did the more stencil like I do on all of my other intercoolers. It's kind of my signature thing. And yeah, it's definitely looking good. Omar from RST got the pipe welded up. Now, he was having issues with the welding because not the pipe, the cheap pipes, he said, were actually really good. It was actually the cheap piece right here that's on the bottom of the blow-off valve. It wasn't welding well to the aluminum because there's a coating on it. So he said the best way to do it is to get some vibrant ones. Vibrant doesn't have that coating and it welds real easy. But the welds are really strong. A lot of people will say they look ugly. I don't care about that. I just care about functionality, no boost leaks or anything like that. He did also say that he was going to weld those pipes down there up for me so we don't have as many couplers because those are potential boost leaks. But yeah, this cheap intercooler piping kit definitely works. You just need extra couplers, which I will link everything in the description, including the clamps that I used. I did have one clamp break, but I was using the impact, so that's probably why. But I will get a new clamp there because I don't like the worm clamps. I like the T-bolt. But we have the air intake temp sensor adapter and all that, which will also be linked in the description. But yeah, it's definitely coming together for sure. I'm going to go ahead and get the bumper back on and we'll see what it looks like. Hope you guys are enjoying this video. All right, there it is, all put back together. It's looking really nice. I was even able to get the catch can in there. kind of a tight squeeze, but I managed to make it fit. And I need to get a 4-inch elbow and a pipe with a small filter for daily driving. But yeah, when it's at the track, it'll probably just have a turbo guard mesh style filter on the turbo for more power. But it's looking really awesome. The only thing that really sucks is I did not want to have to remove the fog lights, but I kind of had to because of that pipe right there was pushing it out all the way out and wouldn't let the bumper go on. I'll probably just end up 3D printing some block off plates there or something. But yeah, overall it looks awesome. And only thing left to do now is get the exhaust part ran and take it to the dyno to see what kind of power it pushes. Then we will go to the track as soon as possible. But yeah, if you didn't see the green K-Swap truck came by for a visit, definitely check that video out. Eddie gave me these wheels. Eddie's the new owner of the green K-Swap truck. He gave me these wheels and tires. These are Toyo R888s, and these will be going on the RSX. We'll have another video on that. I do need to get new tires for the skinnies. The tread on these are really great, but the problem is they're egg-shaped, so it doesn't drive very good, so it needs new tires. I would love to daily on these wheels, but unfortunately, it's not a good idea to daily on skinnies. If I had 2 more of these wheels, these are 15-inch wheels, and just got 2 more good tires on it, I'd run all 4 of them like that, and then when we go to the track, just throw the skinnies on the rear. It would be good to go. But yeah, can't wait to install these. There'll be a video of that. We will have one more video out before taking it to the dyno. That will be getting the exhaust finished and started up and all of that. So all that is coming very soon, so you definitely want to stay tuned. Make sure that you have your bell turned on to get notified of every upload at my weird upload schedule. So sorry about that, guys. But yeah, we're making progress, and before too long, we'll be going down the track with this bad boy, and I cannot wait to see the numbers it does on the dyno. Huge shout out to AGN Tuning, Eric from AGN Tuning. He actually set me up with Omar from RST Motors in Killeen, Texas, so that way we could get the aluminum welding done and everything needed for that. And yeah, we definitely have more coming. But if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. But as I like to say, God bless, stay safe, stay awesome.